Yo, what's good with it, Pack fam? It's your boy, Mr. Check My Resume. We're about to get into this 0-day expiration class tonight, and we're going to try to, develop and find some setups for tomorrow that we can take advantage of. There was a lot of discussion today on the Zoom call about potential setups for tomorrow. We saw the weed, the marijuana legislation that Biden announced earlier today. So that sent those stocks in a frenzy. Looks like they're still pushing after hours. So yeah, we looks like so far this week has been pretty, for the most part, I guess you could say bullish this week. So it's been one of those weeks to where, it's a lot going on. So we're gonna see what's going on here and take a look and see what opportunities present themselves. Just a couple of housekeeping things. So tonight's class, I want this to be interactive. So I don't want to be the only person speaking tonight. So I want some of the PAC members to jump in and provide their input on some of their setups that they're looking at as well. And so I want this to be a nice collaborative discussion. And so just to get into just a few quick points, this is the 0-day expiration class. So our focus here is to find setups and potential trades for tomorrow. We are looking to identify, very volatile type of trades. These are 0-day expirations. So these contracts do expire tomorrow. And so there's a great deal of volatility that comes with them, but also a sizable reward if played correctly. And so we have over this period of time, I guess almost 2 years now, we've kind of developed a process that we've consistently been able to identify setups that have enabled us to turn a little bit into a lot. We've seen some really strong gains and high percentage plays, all of that good stuff through this 0-day process. And so I do want to also mention though, for newer traders, as well as those may not be familiar with strat or some of the terminology that we're using, it's okay. You may not feel comfortable taking any of these trades tomorrow. That's okay. You can use this opportunity to sit back and learn and get some perspective on our process and how we go about this 0-day. So with that, again, I'm looking for these short-term moves for tomorrow. I'm really looking for not so much a scalp, but a trade that I could potentially stay in for, hour, a couple hours, maybe even half the day, or even the full day if we are in the right ticker where we get that continued movement. So one of the main things I want to look for here is continuation. I typically am not looking for reversals unless it's like a bullish continuation. That's more so what I'll look for. But I typically am not looking for reversals as I take the 0-day trades. I want to find something that's already moving in force, and I'm catching a TTO or some consolidation, and I just want to catch something that's already moving in force. And so that's kind of like my thought process on identifying these 0-day trades versus my thought process when developing my weekly watch list, which is more focused on identifying reversals. And so I wanted to make that distinction so that people understand what we're looking for. And so the details in terms of the setups may be a little bit different than what I would have particularly on my main watch list that comes from the weekend. So with that, typically what I like to look for is the inside bar setups on the 4-hour time frame. I do like taking setups on that time frame, particularly if they trigger in force. A lot of times I've seen where there's been pretty strong moves to the upside. But again, this is more so a process that you can just kind of stick to and be consistent with. But kind of lost my train of thought right there. But so I'm looking for these inside 4-hour setups. And with this, I'm looking for, potential hour, 2-hour move, maybe even a half-day move. But I think, with the strength that these setups provide, it's given us, consistently over time, an opportunity to take some really strong and good trades to the upside. So we've consistently kind of nailed this one to the upside and downside. So, I think it's more so refining things to ensure that you are taking the steps necessary to identify the right trade. So I'm going to start talking about that. We're going to start taking a look here. What I like to do is get into a scan just to kind of help us consolidate on time. And look, and what I'll do right now is take a scan for inside 4-hour setups. And again, folks, please feel free. This is an interactive session, so please jump in. Speak, drop your tickers in the chat.
I'm just resume. I'm trying to just learn a little bit because I got like 3 kids and a company I'm trying to run, bro. So it's hard for me to be searching for these things, but I'm trying to see the process. So when I do have a Friday open, I can hit it,
Right. No, absolutely. That's what we're here for. So yeah, perfectly said. So yeah. So again, for those of you that are, familiar with the process, if you got tickers you're looking at for tomorrow, y'all know the drill. Drop them in the chat and we'll take a look at them and kind of give our feedback on it. But again, this is an interactive session, so I want everyone's feedback as well. If you have feedback to provide, but if not, just kick back and listen and take notes and take value from what you can. And yeah, we'll get started. So I think obviously we saw how marijuana stocks closed on the day in cannabis. So, I think that's one that we can definitely identify as particularly going to be bullish tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with those. Not sure if there's any entries available to us, but we'll take a look and see. So I'm going to run this scan here for inside 4-hour tickers. There's actually quite a few on here. It's 244. So yeah, we got a quick list. We're not going to go through every single one of these, so don't even trip on that. I don't have any intention on doing that. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to look at these by underlying price, because I typically do not go through. Well, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'll do that a little bit later.
Hey, Resume, it's Dwayne.
Hey, what's up, Dwayne?
Not too much. I got a question for you here.
Yeah.
While you're on the scanning step of this process, for those of us that don't have the full Thinkorswim to be able to run these scans, any other alternatives? Like I know of RunStrat, which is going to be closing down soon, I believe. Any other way to do these kind of custom type scans for the Strat specifically that you know of?
Oh, you know what? I have not outside of TradingView.
Say, there's one in TradingView?
Doesn't TradingView have scans?
I know Transpider.
You gotta go in that script channel. There's it may be, and I'm not sure, but I see a ton of stuff in there.
Yeah, I see a ton of TradingView scripts and stuff in there. I don't use my TradingView, but I thought there was some type of scripts that could be used on TradingView. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know that for certain. But that was my.
No worries. I'll look in the script. I just thought just while you were on the step for anybody that was watching. So okay.
Yeah. And then for E-Trade, I know there is not as of today. There's not one I could use unless somebody else has found something that I haven't. But I've been using E-Trade for a couple of years now and have not. So that's, I think from that perspective, no, I have not. I think what you can do is, you could take a look and go sector by sector to kind of cherry pick the tickers you like from each of those.
Right.
But really, Thinkorswim has been like a really great tool to, consolidate that in terms of time. But yeah, I haven't seen that.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's one of the main reasons I've stuck to TOS.
Yeah, I have the what do you call it here? The the delayed version or whatnot for Thinkorswim, the free version.
Got you.
And it won't let me load custom scripts on it, or at least I haven't figured that out. So anyway, I'll let you carry on. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I think this one did that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So just wanted to take a look at a couple tickers with some inside setups here. Obviously, I see Chewy, which is what I have on my screen right here, where I have. Looks like we got 2 down on the week, or this is outside week, sorry. Not 2 down, outside week. But we've got a bullish continuation set up here on the 4-hour, which is, again, one of the things I like to see if we're looking for, yeah. Well, yeah, Elliot, we have a bunch of scripts and combos for TOS in our Discord. But I think the question is if there's any alternatives to that for folks who don't use TOS. And I thought that there was something on TradingView, but I guess not. And so, but yeah, if you go in the scripts channel, there's like a bunch of them. So yeah, if there's any that you use and stuff like that, please add them, please drop them in there. We appreciate it. But just back to Chewy real quick. We got the bullish continuation 212 here on the 4-hour. That one looks pretty solid. I haven't been tracking Chewy, but we've got a current outside week. But we're pretty bullish on it. So I think, at least for tomorrow, you may have some continued movement to the upside. So I do see this one, kind of got stopped right here at this volume gap. So tomorrow, if it does go bullish, it could go and enter this next volume gap all the way up to about the $40.76 level on the volume gap. So on the volume profile. So that may be something to look out for on Chewy for tomorrow. I'll drop an alert on it. I'll check out the contracts tonight and see what we've got. That one looks pretty solid to the upside. It's another discretionary, so that's going to be heavily dependent upon what SPY doing tomorrow. But that looks strong. So another one that I saw on this list is another discretionary, and that was Wynn, and this Wynn Resorts, and that was in the more of the travel sector. But you can see on Wynn right here, this one is sitting right at the top of a Broadman formation, which isn't ideal for taking entry on a play. So you got a current high at 74.37 from today. Looks like we've got the hammer close 212 above 74.37. So potentially, if we do get push up tomorrow on the market, this one could go ahead and trigger to the upside. But you got another bullish continuation right here. But it's a key level right here with these Broadman formations. That's not ideal, but if buyers are there in the morning, then it may not even matter. But just be mindful of that. I want to set an alert. This is I want to check out some contracts. This was one me and Boss Gang were very bullish on some weeks back, and so yeah, those targets were hit. And so for the October expirations, looks like everything lined up. Type that appropriately. All right. So that's when we got continuation on the day. That one looks very bullish for tomorrow. Let's keep it going, see what we got. All right. I think we all feel pretty bullish about energy stocks. So hopefully everybody's already taking position on those. I'm not waiting for entry tomorrow, but what we got here? Snap. I see somebody that put Snap in the chat. This one, Snap, sitting on top of the point of control. It's got a shooter on the day. So it's giving you a little bit of a conflict here. We got the 3 up on the week at the point of control. How we feel about those 3 ups on the week? we know what them can do. So I would just be a little mindful. I don't think my logic suggests taking this one to the upside. I think what you could may get is a little bit of more of a push to the downside. However, the one thing that I think could keep it up is that point of control here at 1136. But this one, because it's been up for the last 4 days, you think, hey, buyers are in control. It seems like it did not like this level that it reached today on the high and sold off from there back to point of control. So I think from my standpoint, it's like a little bit of conflict that I don't want to see on a 0-day trade. And if I was to take it to the downside, I'm essentially going against, the trend that has been in these last few days. So, this one right here gives you a little bit of conflict. And so it may be one you want to monitor. Now, if it reverses back up tomorrow morning and goes back in full time frame continuity to the upside, I'd be more inclined to play it. But I do see the PMG. But again, based on my rule, I don't want to take the reversals unless like market just dies tomorrow and dies down. But I don't want to take a reversal on a 0-day. I want to take a continuation. So the 212 to the downside would be a reversal for me. And I just, based on the time and the volatility of the contracts, I wouldn't be wanting to look for like a PMG to the downside for that tomorrow, unless the market just told us it was going to sell off. Now, if the market told us that, then you could put more likelihood into that. But that's just kind of my logic. I would be looking to see if point of control, if there's buyers right there and it gets bought up in the morning, and pushes back up. So that's just my thought on it. But yeah, I mean, it's the candlesticks tell us that, hey, it could push down tomorrow and go 212 to the downside. I just don't want to buy in on a 0-day against the grain like that. That's all. All right, let's see. Let's keep going here. Man, Mara and Riot went off last week, wasn't it? When we had to take a look at these. Been strong these last couple of weeks too. This one looks like it came back and then ended up getting bought up at the volume shelf. Some buyers was there. It's Mara. Again, this is making a similar candle to what Snap was doing. Another shooter on the day, right on top of point of control for the day as well. Yeah, I would, I don't like conflict. So I just, I want no doubters. I think for something like this that has conflict, you really want to have more time to kind of let it figure itself out. But again, looks like this one, there's some buyers that were there at this level, whatever level this was, $13 flat. There was buyers there. So it did push it up towards the end of the day. So we'll see if that holds in the morning or if we sell off in the morning. But Mara's another one. Setup's kind of like meh to me. If you look at the day, you're looking for a 122 down below that 1279. But that's after 4 days of green up to the upside. So a part of me is like, do we feel we're going to get more buying in this tomorrow, or are we just going to look strictly at what the candle says? So that's kind of like where my head goes. So you got to make a determination there. I think for me, I'm going to look at that versus other potential setups, and then I'm going to make a comparison, like which ones has the higher likelihood, regardless if it goes up or down, but which one has the higher likelihood will be kind of my tact.
Resume, can we look at lows? It's got an inside 4 hour. I'm already in it.
Yes, sir. Let's take a look at it. It's been bullish this week, too. Yeah. I haven't looked at it today. Let's see what we got here. It's like Lowe's is sitting on top of a weekly BF. The afternoon pushed a lot of stocks back a little bit. But yeah, this one got pushed down to the weekly BF right here. Looks like there's also a volume shift in that area. Yeah. So again, I think from my perspective, it's all about SPY, honestly. If SPY shows up tomorrow and is bullish, my expectation is that this one's going to go 2 up on the day. So now the timing that it takes for that to happen, it may not work out for your 0-day trade, but I think this one, where we're sitting at on the top of a point of control, it seems like the sell-off, it sold off a little bit, but not too significantly. So I will be looking to see how we open up tomorrow, if buyers are showing up for in the market. If they do, then I expect this one to go 212, bullish continuation to the upside. We could push towards 205. Me personally, on the downside, there is the potential of the 322 to the downside if we do sell off. And then you have the 212 down, which is also a possibility if SPY, because this is this is low, so it's a discretionary. So it's going to be heavily dependent upon what the market's doing in SPY. So this isn't one that's going to do too much independent of that unless it has news that's separate of the market. So that's kind of my breakdown on lows. It's really about SPY with that one. And SPY at least gives it to you, just give you a green day. This one's going to go 2 up on the day. It's been strong pretty much all week. It's been a very strong week for it. But as you can see how the afternoon played out, SPY started to kind of taper off at the end, and you see what happened with that. So it's going to be very connected with SPY. So just be mindful of that when you're going through your plays. Let me see what y'all got in the chat here. Let's see. Inside forums. Yeah. Okay, we just took a look at Snap. FedEx, take a look at FedEx strategy. And my peoples, please jump in, chime in, give me your feedback. I want to hear it. All right, FedEx. Doesn't look like there's a 4-hour setup. We got double inside days though. You know how we feel about that. So FedEx, double inside day. Looks like we came to point of control at 159.67, was rejected. And we've had back-to-back inside days since. Closed out with a shooter today. This one is weak. Yeah, this one's just showing weakness. And so there is a potential for this one to go back to the downside. And I think there's a gap here up to 152.66. So yeah, you got a $2 move to the downside potentially to fill that gap for sure on FedEx. We just need to see. I mean, it looks like it even looks weak with the market being what it did this week. It gapped up, but it had a nice strong day on, was it Tuesday? But it hasn't really done much else. So yeah, I think there's a potential for this one to push back to the downside. But again, if SPY holds the market up tomorrow, then this one could, potentially push up. But it looks like it came to that broadening formation and it has not reacted well. It's just taking a little bit of time to do what it needs to do. So I'll be setting up an entry or a target. Sorry, I should say an alert to the downside to fill this gap back to this Wednesday, Tuesday, to Monday's high. 154.82 be the trigger point. Set the alert at 87, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that looks like barbecue chicken though. Let's see what else we got here. Trying to see what's up. MPC, you already know what's going on here. Stratamus Prime. You already know. Barbecue chicken over here in these parts. I said in my shack for barbecue chicken. All right, so a couple different setups here on MPC. I always tell folks when playing MPC to go check out to see if there's people at the party, because this one typically will have a little bit lower volume. But the setups have been fire and they've been performing well. So we definitely like MPC. Sometimes has not had people at the party, but it's one that we like it. We like to hear in the back. Not to be confused with MRO, which is also marathon, but one is petroleum and the other one is oil. Yeah, so just a slight change on those. 108.10. Got a nickel off of the price. I thought you could. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Roblox. Very clean looking setup here. I mean, we know they've been down for a little while. Looks like they're starting to get bought up a little bit. Nice clean looking setup here on the 4 hour. Oh, let me go back one. Hold on. I didn't put in all the setups on that MPC, my bad. Yeah, so also on MPC, we got an inside day. I just totally skipped over that. My bad. But yeah, inside day also above 108.39. My bad, dog. All right, keep it going. Roblox. Come on. Okay, so Roblox. Another 4 hour setup. You know how this one can do on a Friday. Be showing out sometimes. Like, where the hell you been? But yeah, Roblox got the 212 bullish continuation on the day off of point of control from yesterday, or actually all this week. It's been kind of steadily creating higher lows. I would expect nothing less tomorrow. I really like how it showed up in the afternoon and did not get pulled down. But the rest of a lot of these stocks did. The second 4 hour candle. That is showing a little bit of relative strength, which is something I like to see on these 4 hour setups, or these just setups in general. Excuse me.
So Resume with that Roblox, because Roblox doesn't move a lot.
Right.
So what would you take? Like if you did a 0 day, like a $40 call?
I would go left.
Yeah, it's people at the party on that $40 0 day.
Let's take a look at it. Yeah, I mean, you got, what's this? What's our entry point? Let's go back to the chart. Entry point on the 4 hour would be 39.44. So I'll be looking at the money, the ATM would be 39.50 at 61 cents. They'll probably be slightly up by the time they hit trigger. So maybe like 70 cents by the time they trigger on the ask. But that one has the most open interest out of those, you know, relative to what the stock does in terms of open interest. It's not bad. It's a non-standard week, so you're not looking for an exorbitant amount of open interest. So I mean, there's a decent amount of people at the party, but yeah, I would be looking at the money, 39.5s, or even at, you know, even in the money, I'm not against either on these 0 days, because if you want to take this trade and be in it for, I don't know, some part of the morning or some stretch of the day, sometimes you're going to get pull downs and stuff. So if you buy out of the money a couple strikes, you're not going to be able to hang in that contract for a pull down. Like, you're just going to have to sell it. As soon as you first sign a weakness, you got to sell it outside the money. But if you're in the money, that added delta will protect you, you know, as you get TTOs and stuff throughout the day. Otherwise, theta's just going to eat your contract. So even if it does go up, it's not going up fast enough for you to make any profit. So either you're going to like take far out of money and you're getting a quick momentum move, which is something like we don't typically teach people to do that. But I mean, it's an opportunity you could take potentially. But it's more so like having an identified process, identifying something in continuation, buying at the money or in the money, and then you can stay in the trade for a longer period of time during the day, whether that's, you know, half a day or the whole day or a couple hours, you know what I mean, kind of thing. So yeah, I'll be looking at 39.5s. 40s aren't bad. We just need to go and map out what my target would be in terms of exit. If you know, close enough to 40 was we had 39.15 to close the day. So you got to think about like the small move on that contract. I mean, let's just say you get 30-40% move. I'm not going to really look for, I guess trigger point is what, 39.44. So you get a 30-40 cent move, you're going to be just under the $40 strike. So, you know, you could kind of stretch it to that, but, you know, I try to take conservative estimates, because if you put these contracts on the analyze tab, I bet with a 30-40 45 cent move, you know, on Roblox, I bet you those contracts tomorrow are going to give you a nice little payout. Like they don't need to move too much, especially for 0 days, and it has a very low underlying right now. So that would be my look at it. You know, so just think about the underlying move that it needs to make, and then make your assessment from there, and then see which correlating contracts like pay the best. So 40 might be, if it does run, and 40 is a no question kind of thing. 39.5 is like more of the safer, higher probability play. But, you know, in around a little 40. I mean, you put a little dip on it. You know, it's a little medium dip on your chip. There ain't nothing, you know, there ain't too much dip, but, you know, just thinking about the probabilities. We'll tell you to go at the money. But one strikeout ain't bad, though. But it's just the fact that 50 cents is more than a % move on that stock. So it's, you know, it's not like $100 stock. Just the relativity of price movement. My fault. Go ahead.
No, the only reason I said 40 was it just looked like that was maybe the top of the two before the one. It's about 40 there.
Yeah.
So 39. In the money's better to hit the in the money quick. I got it.
Yeah. Well, it's not even about hitting it quick. It's more so just because we know that these stocks are not going to go up, two up every candle, or when they do, it's like rare. So I think, like, you know, from that perspective, rather than, you know, like, I know some people take the approach of they just hop in and then hop out. They hopscotch and double dutching that thing. Whereas for me, it's like I want to make a measured decision and take a stock that I know is going to move, and I can stay in that stock for a longer period of time because I know the move. I know where it's going to go. I have a target. I have a broad information, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So now I have like a set plan, exit point, all that good stuff to inform me where I need to go on my trade. And then I just go and look at the contracts to see which ones pay the best or if it's worth my time. And then, yeah, but yeah, I mean, generally, yeah, you get the money quicker you hit the money quicker, but hitting the money means you just get delta protection. So it's more so about giving you the protection on your contracts. Out the money is just lower probability. And if you get a pull down on a 0 day, you're dead. It's a wrap. You gotta get out of it. Unless you gangster, but for the measured people who, ain't too risky, they gonna get out. Just thinking of like, if you want to stay in the trade, get closer to the money, buy in the money, and do it that way. It's all about.
I want the highest probability and the easiest money.
Yeah, that's really what it's about. It's just the highest probability. Now, with that being said, we are talking about 0 day expiration contracts. So it's like probabilities, like again, these are the risky trades. But if we're gonna do the risky trades, we just need to have a process. We're doing that, a measured approach. And so, that's the goal with this. And so part of that is selecting contracts that are, the probabilities and all of that factored in. So yeah, no, that's exactly, the thought process you should have. So absolutely. So it looks like Goose, we got Tesla. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, let's look into the downside.
Okay. What you say? Let's see here. Oh, mouse ain't working. One, two, downside, 4 hour, full time frame continuity. Oh, Tessie. Tessie say, I'm weak.
Also, it's right. It's hitting on that broadening formation for a week, but I don't have another BF until slightly under $200.
Oh wow! I must have cleared mine off recently, so I don't have them on there. Doing a 1-on-1 and cleared them off. So okay, yeah, this one looks inviting. We got FTFC to the downside, 4 hour and the day. Can you get the burrito ready? Thank you. And yeah, so we got Chicago to the downside, below what is this? 238. And then also on the day, we got a bearish continuation to the downside below 235.35. So you weren't supposed to hear that, Nikki. All right, so I don't have my BFs up, so y'all gonna have to talk to me about the broad informations, but just based on the chart itself, it looks very solid. So, and the continuity, I think this is what do we got here? Below what? 238. 8. Let's do that. There we go. If you're doing that. All right. So then the bearish continuation alert would be here below 235.35. Okay. All right. Tessie looking strong though. Let me see something. See, there's a couple BS I want to draw on this thing. Let's do this. I'm just looking at a 4-hour broad information. Let's see what you can see. This line up. Let's see. It's not lining up right. So it just looks like it's been going sideways on the micro. Ah, okay. Okay. There we go. I'm tripping. Tessie might come on down. Looks like the point of control haven't been kind to it. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Airborne information. Ugly. Let's take this off the screen. Tesla's breaking through that brown information range on the week. Yeah, so I mean, I'll have to draw the rest of my BFs on it, but right now I don't see anything. It's really trying to hold it up. So we'll see. We'll move on. Tessie looks good. Let's keep Tessie on the watch. MO read on the 4-hour 212 on the day. Woo! That thing looks strong.
Yeah, it's that rev that kind of made me say, you know what, I might look at this.
Mm-hmm. This one looks good. Okay.
And Mo been good to us on Fridays too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna have to hope every setup don't gap up.
That's right.
Hey man, boss gonna be bursting our bubble like that, man.
Come on, hey man, you know I gotta speak the truth.
Hey, do all this planning and then got to do intraday planning.
Let me live in the clouds a little bit.
When the one be looking too good, you like, God damn, boy, that look too good.
You right about that, but they be like, you like that, don't you? They be taking that carrot out there. Like, nope, we're gonna gap them up. Yeah, that I like the daily setup better than the 4-hour. That thing looking meaty though. Yeah, man, looking meaty. All right. Is it 2 down on the 4-hour, Asa?
No, I got the last 4 hours 2 up.
Okay, so close on the price. Let me check. Okay. Oh, it is 2 down by like 4 cents though.
Mine showing 2 up. There we go. This trading view trying to get me.
Yeah, it's 4 cents difference.
Okay.
I'm gonna just call it even. Inside day. Yeah, I like this. I think I like the 212 on the day setup better.
Yeah.
But I think that 43.18 level from yesterday's high is like the chop level. We get over that, we're going to take out these pivots on the left at like 43.67 and 43.77.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, like a 78-cent move from where we closed at. You get in there, I can confirm that it's a small volume gap. Yeah, it's like a little baby gap right up in here.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
And we get up in there, we might get a little extra. Ooh. You can see it a little bit better on the day though. But that's what we stole from. And there's also, yeah, as you know, there's a correlating broadening formation to the volume gap.
Right.
So if we do push up tomorrow and get buyers, we go 2-1-2 on the day, we're going 2-1-2 right into the gap or the beginning of the gap. But then we'll be cooking with grease. So that one got some real solid potential. I like it. There's two triggers though. That 4-hour trigger ain't bad either. I like that hammer. It's like buyers were gonna let that thing drop.
Propped it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so you called that a 4-hour a 2 down because it didn't close with a full hammer like at 43.05, kind of like pull back some.
It's 2 down because it was the high is less than the earlier 4-hour.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. I think it was just a 4 cents difference. The first 4-hour was 43.09. Second 4-hour was 43.05.
Yeah.
I was like, man, they just went sideways today. Really. Bought it up towards the second half of the day. So I'm gonna set alert to 2-2.
You got to make sure that moving in force because it's a whole lot of consolidation right up. You know what happened last time with MO. You know, so it's a lot of consolidation in that area. So it's kind of like you got to make sure it's moving in force. That's the most important thing.
Gotta get that volume gap to get that moving.
Just gonna have to get through the mortars that's sitting there.
43.05. Not bad. The 2-1-2 entry, I like better though. Get you right there at the beginning of the gap, the volume gap. You get in the volume gap, now you cooking with grease. You just gotta get a little oomph. Get a little bump.
A little push. Gotta get it out of first gear.
Right. You know the 6. You gotta get them rolling starts.
Yeah.
We used to have an old school Z, one of them 280s.
Hey, I had to get that rolling start when I had to pop the clutch on my.
There you go.
Road park on the hill, man. You know,
man, yes, sir. That's when we used to go on real missions. Real missions back in the day. All right. MO looks solid. We got to see what we get in the morning. MU Micron. Looking real good over here. Looks like we had some strength in buying this week, like a lot of stuff. Looks like we had a little bit of selling in the afternoon, but not too significant. Looks like we just held steady in the afternoon. So, okay, we created a higher low on the day. We pushed through this broad information after we touch off the monthly BF, and we've just been kind of tracking upwards since then over the last 2 weeks, which is a good sign. Looks like it's trying to attract itself to the point of control at 58.06 on the day. It looks like it's trying to attract itself in that direction. We have the Chicago set up here on the day. I'm gonna right there. Let's see. So essentially it will be just under $56 tomorrow if this was to go and test that broad information to the upside. So you can see the entry above 55.11, and you get a move close to that $56 range. But you need an entry on the 4-hour here above 54.94, which would be the bullish continuation. This is one of those that's really going to be dependent on what SPY wants to do. If it does for you to show strength tomorrow in SPY, and this is one that you could probably look at as a good bet for the upside. Semis were confirming strong today. So that could be one. If SPY is bullish, then it could be one you can lean on. But yeah, we got the Chicago 312 on the day here of 55.11. That looks like a really clean setup to me as well. And it's cleaner than the 4-hour one, in my opinion. So definitely like MU and where it sits, but it's going to be dependent on SPY. If SPY ain't doing nothing, then I'm going to be less inclined to play this. Yeah, MU looks good. Let's check out the African American. They said that looks fire. Yeah. Here. Come on. All right. There's African American. Acting like CP time. All right, here we go. Looks like we just going sideways, right a little bit. Interesting. It's just holding this level.
Yeah.
Again, though, it does have a BF right here. Yeah, it just keeps bumping his head on the BF.
Yeah. This might be a next week play right here. After you drew that BF, I can see it now. Just squeezing a little bit. Range trade.
It's tight range too. Range, yeah. Let's see. It looks like it's getting into a volume gap, or it got rejected at the bottom of a volume gap. So it reached this one up right around here. It got rejected. There's some sell orders at this range right here, or was. So now we're gonna see. Looks like buyers are still there though. So we're probably gonna go retest this level. I forget what this was at the high of yesterday, or that 40, 42 level. So that'll be a key level to see if we go back and retest that tomorrow. But yeah, I think you're right. That daily broad information is just kind of holding it up right there. And if you look at the 4-hour chart, you see that volume shift to the left. That's a direct correlation to those wicks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if you want to take a trade on this, you probably want to give yourself a little time.
More and more. It's not 0-day potential. I mean, possibly anything could happen, but from the setup, it looks like it's gonna just range in that area, consolidate some more.
Yeah. It could give you a few more days, maybe a week. Still bullish though. He said 0-day suspect for you, Ronell. Let's see. What else we got?
Hey, before you dip to the next one, check out a firm. I don't have no BFs on it, but it's inside 4 hour. Well, 312 is drawing some dailies on it now just to get a quick look. But
yeah. These 0 days are risky, to those in the chat. You gotta have confidence in the plays. Now. If you don't have confidence in it, don't take the trade. Just chill.
Yeah.
Observe it. So a firm looks like it's been going sideways too.
Okay.
Yeah, it did have a nice move on, what was that, Tuesday? But yeah, it looked sideways. It took a step up. Like it just took like a little leg up that it lost a week before. And got back in last week's range. But yeah.
It's all we need to oil tomorrow. All natural resources tomorrow. That's what I'm doing.
Tell you. All right. So a firm again just looks sideways right now. But I think this one's going. Come on, baby. I think this one is going to do good for the holidays. You know, your kids just come in and just Rick James your stuff. They don't care nothing about your
at all.
Straight Rick James. So yeah, Snap, Efron. Let's take a look at this one here. I think we look at this. But Shooter on the day didn't show up well in the afternoon, sell off. So this one is like it
did Snap.
Okay, I thought so. All right. Thank you.
It was conflicting, remember?
Yeah, okay.
It was a point of control.
Yeah, now, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I was like, I know I wasn't tripping. All right. So we got AMD. Man, look like AMD slammed right into that broad formation today. Pushed up through it, and then it didn't hold up well after that. Looked like it came back to point of control. Not sure how I feel about that. It didn't give me the strength I wanted to see. It just mean that broad information was there and it just didn't react well to it, is really what the story is. So I think the idea here would be that it's going to continue to sell off from here and go down to this next broad information level. And so, I mean, just from a technical standpoint, that's what I see. 212 down, push below point of control. I just don't see any strength in it just from this little short time frame. It did have a nice couple days initially, but yeah, I'm not seeing sustained strength. I don't know. MU just looked a little bit better to me from a chip standpoint. But AMD is AMD, man. You never know. If the market pushes up tomorrow, this could be all null and void. But from a technical standpoint, I don't see where you could make a bullish case from a technical standpoint. Oh, and the news today was negative, so I think the idea here would be to take the 212 down and take that below 67.77 on the 4 hour. Excuse me. And then on the day, we'll take that Rev Strat day entry off the shooter below 67.66. And actually, I'm gonna set alerts for both of those. For the 4 hour and day. Whoa, 67.67. All right, and then we got the shooter here. We're gonna set in a daily alert as well. Below today's low. And you got a 2 to the downside. All right, AMD. Hey, it's already down. The setup. Okay. It's okay. We still charted. That's all right. It's all good. You gotta sometimes, that's gonna happen. That's how I felt about energy this week on Monday. And Vail. Like you mother. So it happens. Okay. All right, blue collar. Let's check out ET. You know how we feel about the sector right now. Oh, ET did not do like the sector today. What's going on over here? What y'all got going on, ET? Okay. ET hit that volume shelf where that point of control is on the 4 hour, and it was like, we don't like it. It's also a point of control on the day. It didn't even make it back to the bottom information. So yeah, that 3 up, man. What you know about that 3 up, boss gang?
Yeah, I be telling them.
So yeah, we got ET. Right now, I think from my standpoint, I see it with the downside setup, but my question that I would have is like, how far down do we expect it to go? I'm looking at this broadening formation here at like 1139. Is there enough meat on that bone for you? I mean, what is it? It's 16 cents, so it's more than a percent move. Actually almost 2%. So technically, sure. I mean, there could be a potential there below the day entry. But I just see we see this broadening formation right here on the week. I think more so in that aspect. Plus what the sector's doing. I'm really surprised that it's like pulled down like this, considering what the rest of the sector's done this week. So a little surprising seeing this setup here on ET. So I'll be interested to know if there's any news or information on it. But yeah, you're
Well,
right.
natural gas was just trading a little bit lower.
Got you. Okay.
It had just ran up too. You know how it goes.
Right. Okay. Just doing a little correction.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I look at it. You see, it came off a big giant run up, so corrective activity is what I see.
Got you. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking like it'll come back to this broad information, but that's probably about it. So maybe for tomorrow, if you want to squeeze out that little 10-cent move, but it is only $11.55 stock, so 10 cent would be pretty. 16 cent would be pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, you put them on the analyze tab, it's probably gonna pay you a good amount. So yeah, ETA bad. I don't like how it's performing like within what the sector's doing today. I should say, just for today. So let's take a look at the Nikki. Let's see here. Let's see, Vail want to go retest this broad information, huh? That's what we seeing. Yeah, I think so too.
So Boss Game said he liked to take them when they're at a broad information. So I noticed it was kind of like at or around a broad information. So I'm looking to play it either way.
Right. So if it continues down, then cool. If it tries to go retest, I'm there.
Yes, sir.
Right on. Yeah, so okay. I see Vel, 22 rev, 4 above 1455. We know it's been supremely bullish this week. Today was a reaction to the broadening formations. So yeah, there could be the potential for this one to push back up. I think we know the bullishness of this one. Plus, the rotation into materials for Q3. So this could be one that lines up well. So yeah, I like to set up on the 4 hour to go retest. I think that's plausible. And the daily reversal, I could see a situation where the target on the day for entry will actually be your target for exit. So I'm looking at this more so that you take that entry at 1455, and then you target the broad information just so that you be mindful of that, because if it shows weakness, you want to take what you got at that point. But I'll be looking at this first pivot to the left as potentially a target to exit, only because of like where it's at in relation to the broad information. You push to the broad information once, it could go back and retest the broad information. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want you to be in that chop. I wouldn't want you to be in that chop for that period of time. So it may be a situation where it goes back and retests those highs, and that's where you exit at, because it may go back and retest and try to orbit this broad information for a little bit. So that would be
it could chop between your green BF and your blue BF as well.
Yep, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah, yes, sir.
And if it does that, that's gravy, but just from the conservative side, I'm gonna give you the conservative approach first. So, yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we're bullish on Valet. So but for 0 day, if you just want to secure the win, take it to the BF or to that first pivot, you know, and I promise you that percentage of the contract, I don't know what the price point is. Was it 14.55, 14.75? That's 20 cents. That's 1% move, and then the high 14.88. So yeah, you got a little bit of meat on the bone if it does make that move tomorrow. So you know how we like Valet. I just don't want to be over too optimistic on it, but yeah, we like it. We like the stop. So yeah, that's one. I know you in that long too, huh?
I'm in there to the upside, yeah.
Okay, just asking. What happened, James? I'll pause right on my entry. So yeah, Ronell, I think one of the big things with 0 days is what I've learned over time is like the setups is one thing. So yeah, the setups look good, whatnot. But then I try to add, and it's the same thing I do with my long trades, but especially for these, that's why I focus on continuation plays. Is I just want something that I already know is bullish. I want to eliminate the the unknown of it if it's bullish or it's got to reverse here and then no. I just want it to keep going. I want continuation. So that's like the first thing, and then the second thing is I'm looking for multi-level time frame breaks. So I look for the day, the week, those kind of things. I look for moves off of broad information. So if it did reverse off of broad information earlier in the week or something, that's kind of those things I'm looking for to help me determine continuation. And then sector strength. Even though it's a 0 day, and I want to know what the macros are saying too. Just because it's a 0 day trade don't mean, and I'm just going through my list of stuff. It's like, when looking at 0 day trades, the macros still matter. You want to know if it's something bullish or there's continuity on the macros and, all that kind of stuff. You want to know that as well. So it kind of simplifies, if all things considered equal, you're like, well, this stock has sector strength. This stock has a reverse off the BF. This stock has, you start to weigh out that kind of information when you're comparing setups. And then that kind of hones in and kind of filters it down to where you can select the appropriate stocks. And so we try to help narrow that down, but then there's still a step you have to take and kind of like, going through that process. Now, that's one step of it. The next piece is execution. Because you could pick the right stock and still not execute appropriately and come and wind up losing on a trade. And, I think we've all kind of experienced that at one time or another. But so you need to have a very clean process for execution for these trades and be convicted. So if you're going to take a trade for a 0 day, like I always tell people, be prepared in your mind mentally that I don't care. This is the idea I have, and I'm prepared for this to go to 0 in your mind. Like, sure, once you recognize it's failed, you could probably cut it. But for the most part, where I'm not looking like, oh, I got to jump out. Like, I'm taking the starter entry and I'm playing with conviction because, again, like we talked about Tuesday, it's like, I'm thinking from the standpoint of if I lose on a trade, I'm writing it off. So that's why I always ask people, are you trading as an individual? Or are you trading as an S corp? Because that does make a difference in terms of how you manage these trades. Hell yeah, if you're getting taxed as an individual, you want to make sure you get out of every damn trade you can. You only get 3K to write off. So I think like there's a whole plan around it. So like I think in addition to just the setups themselves, is how do you have yourself structured? So I think that's something that plays a part into my decision making also. So I'm prepared, like if something goes to 0, then okay. Because I trust the steps that I took to enter the trade. I trusted the time that I took, the due diligence that I put in, the review of the setups, the broad informations. So I am totally comfortable. If it fails on me and it goes to 0, then okay, fine. I tip my cap, I move on to the next trade. And because I know my wins are going to outweigh the losses kind of thing. So so that's kind of been like some mental things I try to share with people in terms of like managing. And yeah, 0 days, it's one of those things you need to build out a process and know exactly what you're doing going in. It's one of those things you got to know the play before game day even starts. So, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's just one of those things. We've just kind of built this process where we've just been able to consistently do that. But you take a 4-hour entry, you can't play it on the 5-minute. Kind of thing. Like what it does on the 5-minute is it going to determine what a 4-hour trigger does. So you'll see a lot of instances. You may see something kind of go sideways for a little bit and then take off. But if you're playing the 5-minute, you're gonna jump out quick, take the quick loss and just get out. And so it's stuff like that where you just have to manage yourself and kind of understand time frames and stuff like that. If you want to watch it on the 5, understand what your cut levels are and all that kind of stuff. Just not looking at the candles like, oh, it went down, 2 down, and have your levels set appropriately, your alerts, your exit points, and everything. So it's all about having the plan in place. And so putting all those pieces together, it makes things a little more simple for you. So I'm gonna shut up now and keep going. AMD announced a pre-earnings miss of more than one B. Damn. Okay. I think we might have something then tomorrow. A little something. All right, so I'm moving on. Another chip stock here. This is Intel. Looks bearish from my point of view so far. I haven't even analyzed anything, but yeah, this one looks bearish as well. It dipped below point of control today. So we're looking at a 212 on the 4-hour here below $27.10. That seems like an easy call right here off the failed 2 up on the week. And then we're also looking at a Chicago setup to the downside on the day. What we got here, boss game? We got another 3 up, right? We got 312 pushing down to the downside with a shooter. 312 below 27 flat. We got another 3 up candle. Trying to tell y'all, I know how many times we're gonna keep repeating this. 3 downs, be bullish. 3 ups, be bearish. But we, don't listen to us. We're gonna keep throwing these examples in your face. So it's another example here. AMD with the news, Intel looking bearish. I think MU is the only one that gave us much of a bullish kind of look. So I think this setup looks like barbecue chicken to me. And though those don't know my lingo, I am saying looks like money in the bank to the downside. So I'm going to put in a 4-hour trigger and a daily trigger for us for Intel. All right, Intel at $27. How is this here? Okay. And then 312 Chicago on the day. I'm about to add some BFs on some of these, maybe some of these micro levels so I can get some price points typed up. So we're looking at a 312 on the day here. $27 flat. Okay. 27. All right. What happened there? So that fell 2 up on Intel looks spicy to me. So we might be able to short this one into oblivion. So we'll take a little closer at that one tonight. We got the slum of the burgers, Schlumberger, as Cam would call it. Slum, like my boy Sin would say. So we got bullishness. I don't know if anybody is still in those October expirations I alerted a few weeks back. but they have hit money. I gotta go run the calculations on those, but those have hit. So it was a little bit of a rocky ride because you did have a little pull down, 2 down week, couple weeks back. But again, SLB has had a lot of buying in comparison to some of the others. Looks like we just at the top of a 4-hour BF here, maybe. What's this? Yeah. So we're looking at, I'm still bullish on it for tomorrow. We're probably going to go try to test this quarterly. This green line is a quarterly broadening formation. So I am looking for a bullish continuation here, similar to what happened today. Looking for a bullish continuation here above 42.82. And even if we were to open up inside tomorrow, I'm still bullish on energy. And so if that happens, then it may take a little bit longer for us to crack these levels. So it may go like open up 212 down and then push through those targets. But even then, I'm still bullish on it. So I'm looking at a entry here above 42.82 on SLB, Schlumberger. Because of where we're at in price point, I'd be looking to take this one close to the $43 level. And depending on how bullish and how crazy things are tomorrow, $44 seems ambitious, but we went 92 cents today on the day, and that was an outstanding day. I think from what day was this? Thursday did even better. So I think it was more like close to a 4% day. So even then, I mean, those are those are pretty strong days. So, $1.50, $2 move is pretty strong for this one. But I could see another day like today out of SLB where we go and test this broadening formation to the upside. So I am looking for a bullish continuation here. Looks like I did not put the alert in. So I like it. But we like energy as a whole for tomorrow, though. So I think that just goes without being said. I know a lot of us should already be in. We put out alerts on this on the weekly watch list. I know I did. I had a few different tickers on mine, so I know this is something that we should be in and feeling good about. Now we didn't look at MRO yet. This we're gonna take a look right now. So yeah, MRO was one that I saw end of the day today that I thought was like, ooh. I did actually take a position on MRO. So I'm in MRO as well. There is no entry though. I think that's why I took the position.
Oh yeah. What caught my attention was the 3-2 continuation, but
yeah, you see what happened? It tried to push down off that 3 earlier today, but buying was too strong.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what I'm seeing yesterday, it did the same thing. It had a 3 up, but it tried to push back a little bit of selling, but it just kind of stayed flat. So that's a good sign. It's like they're selling there to even pull it down off that broadening formation that's created from that 3. So that's a good sign. I mean, that just tells you it's mad bullish. So yeah, the expectation is continuation tomorrow. And you see where the broadening formation sit. I don't think I'm missing any on MRO. So yeah, that looks like barbecue chicken. If you're not in it, you just need to look for TTO intraday. But it flipped on the month. 2 up on the month, I should say. Yeah, I mean, it's strong. It's strong, that's about as strong as you can see. Ain't no wicks on that thing. That's about the most bullish you're going to see something. So.
Hey, Resume, can I ask you a quick question, please?
Yeah, 3 downs of bullish, Dwayne.
Is that no? I just wanted to make sure I heard what you said. You said 3 downs be bullish, 3 ups be bearish. Was that right? Was that what I heard?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I know it's funny because I just read the chat right before you had said something, but
okay.
But no, yeah, it is, and I'll dive into that just a tad. But essentially, we know that threes create broadening formations on smaller time frames. And so we know that there's a broadening formation present, and we know how price reacts to broadening formations. So what you'll see a lot of times, and not every single time, we know how the stock market is. It's not going to be 100% of the time. Like right here in front of us, these are just so bullish that it just pushed through the 3 ups. But we saw a number of these and other tickers that were very bearish after the 3 ups. So we've just seen over time that the likelihood of these threes continuing is not as a safe bet as like one would think. We found that the broadening formations have and are respected with these threes. So even when so if you were to go take a look at some of these 3 downs that we've encountered, you'll see where they'll take 3 down and then there's no body on the candle anymore. It's kind of reversed up. Or you'll see a situation where you go 3, 2, 3, then 2 down, then 2 up. Or we just did this on SPY a few weeks ago. I believe it was we went 3, 2, 2. Oh, we didn't even get a chance to go 3, 2, 2, but 3 up on SPY right here. Typically we would have this 2 up week and then the following week go down. This selling was so strong, we just pushed through and made another outside week. But in our experience, those 3 ups haven't been as bullish as you would think. There's always some kind of wick that's created. So you understand what type of buying is at that level. So, and that works for the downside as well for the 3 downs, because at the same time, you push down at the bottom of a range on a broadening formation. So then the idea is there's going to be buyers at the bottom of that range, and they're going to push it up to a certain point. It may not be back to the other side of the range. So 50% area that we try to target on those 3 downs when they come back up, or vice versa, the 3 ups. But that's something we can talk about on the call too. I don't want to deviate from the tickers too much, but
yeah, no, makes sense. Thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, good question. And it's been a topic of discussion in the chats, or in the pack, I should say. So next one here, we got nice in phase. Let's take a look. EMPH. Hey man, I ain't even look at the time. Man, we smoking tonight. Let's see here. So again, we had the lows from this week, 248.13. You see what happened, Dwayne? We had the 3 down on the week candle right here, and immediately we had to push up. And I don't know, they didn't even make 50%. It just hit, this must be a micro BF, but it hit a smaller BF and it got rejected there. So it's weak as hell, So it's like always, they're always going to push up to some degree. You just don't know how strong based on what's going on with that stock. So this was weak as hell. It's tech in phase 212 down. Looks like the same thing on the day. This was like barbecue chicken. We're gonna short this to oblivion. It looks like today created a little wick, just gave another opportunity for entry back to the downside. So folks who got in today, I did see some folks talking about it on Twitter and stuff like that. I did see Enphase or something folks were playing. So this was one that still has more downside moves to it. I just need to draw my BFs on it to know what's going on in terms of the price action. But this one does look bearish for tomorrow. 212 below 256.46 would be the first entry to the 4-hour. And then on the day, we've got an entry below 254.61. 254.61. So you got 2 entries, 2 different time frames on that one. With continuation on the month here. We did have a 3 down week candle. After the slight push up yesterday afternoon, and today it's just there's not enough buying. There ain't enough strength in that ticker right now. So Again, in phase, looks like barbecue chicken to the downside. I like that one. Yeah, day chart looks great. Yep. Okay. Oh, what up, Browns? All right. Let's see. Take a look at this KO. Oh man, that's more continuation to the downside. Looks like we're gonna make our way to this monthly level broadening formation. This is gonna be a level of like 54.40 on the day. Similar deal to that. We look for continuation tomorrow. Same level. 54.87 was the low today. But you know, you get close to a 50-cent move to the downside. There may be something that'll pay, but yeah, there's no entry though. You might have to look at a micro or a get an intraday entry tomorrow. But yeah, this one looks like more selling tomorrow to the downside. I'll be looking to take it to this broad information. Yep, that's right. At the monthly BF. Yep. Ah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like that. Nice. Wow, that's dope. That's dope right there. I think I don't have much additional to look at. I think we covered it for the most part. We know that energy is very, very bullish. We also know what happened with the marijuana and cannabis stocks. So we are already set in positions for those two sectors. So we didn't spend much time on those, but those of you that were not on our live call today, there were entries made on Tilray and a number of Hexo and a number of other cannabis stocks, as well as on energy stocks, which you should have been in earlier this week. And so we are locked and loaded in terms of, you know, what's been running. I think for tomorrow, there's some additional opportunities that may present themselves, but I think we are right on top of what's bullish and what's not. So I think we've got opportunities to take to the downside. I like that AMD news. I really like the potential for that one. Enphase has been one that's been getting killed. I like that as well. That's a strong one. I think Intel, along with the AMD news, looks like another potential short as well. I think Vail maybe more long, but I still love Vail as well. Valle, depending on where you're from. We're good. MU. Those are others that intrigue me as well. And you know, Tesla was a short. So there was some really good. There was some heat on here today that we talked about. Yeah, we're gonna have to take a look. Go and throw some broad information on these tickers if you don't have them already. And then when you're done with that, see which ones are still attractive to you and which ones are not. So kind of do a filter at that point. And then the next step, go and add those tickers and identify contracts and put them on the Analyze tab to see which ones give you the best return on your investment for these potential trades, and start to weigh them out. But do not outweigh how much you make on your ROI over an A+ trade. You still want to value the A+ trade. You just want to be able to understand if you have 3 A+ trades, which ones to pick. I think return on investment can be a tiebreaker for you. You know, you do a little rock, paper, scissors. It's like, all right, you pay me the most, I'm gonna take you. But I always value the A+ setup over how much a trade can potentially make you. That'll keep you out of trouble, because you know we can get a little caught up in like, ooh, this can pay me this much, and then kind of forget like the probability or the likelihood of that trade hitting. So each BF layout, I think I've put it in one of these channels, but you know, this is what I have. You know, if you want to take a screenshot or a picture real quick, but that's what I have on my different time frame. And I think I just bumped out my my month and quarter, and maybe week too. I think I pushed those out slightly a tad from what I had recently. And so, yeah, just trying to see if more data was going to help or hurt with the trades. So yeah.
Resume, you got a second for a quick question?
Yeah.
So trying to get these 0 days right, you know, I think I only took like 2 since I've been in the group. My question is, if you take a 4-hour, if your trigger is on the 4-hour chart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to target. If target's not reached, would you stay in the trade for the 4 hours or for the full 4 hours, which would be the whole day? And if you took a day chart, would you do the same, or a day trade on a 0 day? Would you stay in there for the whole day?
No. I really need to see. So to answer your question directly, I would need to see some relative strength in the stock for me to stay in it for the entire period based on that level. So if it was 4 hours, I would need to see some strong buying continue throughout the day to do that.
Okay.
And the same thing for the daily setups. So typically I'm looking for a target to take it to.
Okay, got you. And now my next question to that is, if we get in on a 4-hour or on or if we get in the trigger on the 4-hour chart or on the day chart, and it turns around on you like immediately, the same rules apply where we get out, or would we stay and let that play out?
It's all dependent upon what's your level for cut and your risk tolerance on the trade. Like,
so the same thing. Okay, so rules apply to day trade, to the 0 day as well.
But I think that if you want to play it, just if you don't have any kind of fundamental support or any other conviction on a trade, which I don't recommend doing too much, but yeah, if you're just taking a trade just off the technicals and you don't have anything else supporting your idea, then sure, you know, have that super tight stop, because you don't know, you don't really have other information to support it, but a technical, analysis. So if it does happen to fail on you technically, then yeah, get out at your super tight stop. But I think what we try to emphasize is like having some additional information that can give you.
Of course.
Yeah. So just for the other people on the call, so they know.
Got you. My bad.
Right. But yeah, but definitely, you want to still stick to your rules in terms of cutting. When it's 0 days and stuff like that, you can't play with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, you gotta make solid, assertive, quick decisions.
Okay. And my bad. I don't know if you touched on this or not. My apologies. But 0 days, we're looking at in the money, or maybe one at the money.
That's more so what I'm preaching. I mean, there may be, outliers or times where Boss Gang will preach to me and he's like, if you know, you just know.
always. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Always.
Yeah, but yeah.
He take that shit like 20 points out the money and get right. Yeah. Right. Nigga, I saw the price when I woke up this morning, man.
Right. Yeah, so like, from that standpoint, there are opportunities, but I think it's like dependent on the individual ticker, because I think the most recent time we had that discussion, I think it was like a VIX play. You already knew what it was gonna do. You should have just got the super far out strike because you already knew. You know what I'm saying? Where I was sticking to my rules kind of thing,
Gotcha.
So I think like there are certain opportunities where you can do that. I just like for the people in the back that, may not be to the level where they can kind of discern all those things. We just preach like staying at the money by maybe one strike in the money or maybe one strike out the money. But outside of that, unless we're doing like leaps and stuff, like, I mean, last year we took what? 4 leaps, like 50%, 60% out the money, 70%.
We took the highest strike on the chain with the 20s at the time. Contract, 11 cents? Goddamn, hit downward.
Yeah, I mean, people getting thousands of % on leaps, Sometimes it's like you have the fundamental data, you don't care what the charts say. Like, it's going.
All right, cool.
You know what I'm saying? But I think generally speaking, you do need to pay attention to the BFs and for it respected of, but over the life of the time that we told people to get those trades, they won 10 times over. Good old Bronco, like Nicky said. Every day we was looking at that stock, you know. But yeah, so you know, I think that's kind of like the frame of mind you want to have. I think there are going to be occasions where you can take advantage of just your confidence and your conviction. This is like, I just know more than everybody else on this. I just know.
Got you. I appreciate your family.
For sure, for sure. But just have a rule. Have a rule.
Yeah, no, I ain't jumping in nothing crazy. Crazy. I'm just trying to figure out the length of time to stay in the play. So either it's to your first target or the BF, and then just jump out the play. Then it's over with. All right, cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah. And then again, you know, I always talk about this, but if it's in a SPY dependent sector, have another chart somewhere of SPY up, you know.
See what the wind is doing. Got you.
Yeah, you go. Yeah.
Got you. All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, good question. I know that helped a lot of people.
Everybody have a great night. Appreciate you.
Nice. Absolutely, man. Catch you in the morning.
Yep.
Sure. So yeah, I think we just gonna call it then, my peoples. I think we had a pretty rich you know, call tonight, and you know, really kind of went through some things and had some good dialogue. So I think we got some good stuff for tomorrow. Don't overload yourself. Narrow down your list so it's something that's manageable tomorrow. So maybe if it was 3 or 4 stocks that you felt like super strong about, focus in on those. I think I know I made it pretty clear, you know, where it seems like the strength is, and that's in energy and materials. And I think there's a lot of other things that have opportunities to the downside. So with that, my peoples, y'all have a great evening. We're gonna catch y'all in the morning. I'm gonna get this watch list typed up and the call up and on the YouTube. So then we'll go from there. Y'all have a great evening. Peace, everybody.
Peace. Appreciate it, man.
Sir, you
catch y'all in the morning.